Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far. So somehow it's October faves. I know I say this every month, but it always seems to take me by surprise quite how quickly these favourite videos come around. So I've got some very exciting things to share with you this month, my faves, and one huge fail at the end, which I'm sure is going to surprise a lot of people. So let's get started. Now, first and foremost and most importantly and before anything else, I want to talk about my lips. I want to talk about Mel's collaboration with Christian Audette. So if you live under a rock, if you don't know who Mel is, I don't even know. Who are you? What are you doing with your life? But my friend here on YouTube, Mel Thompson, has done a lip collaboration with Christian Audette, the brand. And they together have come out with 2 lipsticks and 2 lip liners. Everything comes as a set and it is all divine. So I am wearing the shade Puffin today, which is this frankly outrageously stunning orange bright matte lip. Absolutely just, I mean, I feel like when you think of like a bright orange you think of summer, but this lip has like kind of a reddy tone as well. It's like a reddy orange that makes it really gorgeous all year round. Obviously spring and summer oranges are kind of like the shade, but autumn, fall, you know, we move into browns, warmer tones, reddy browns, like that kind of shade works now as well. And obviously Christmas, anything with a bit of red in it is like, this is a very bright orangey red and it is just perfection. You know how I feel about these colours. I love everything about it. The other shade is a nude, so there's kind of something in here for like every occasion. So you've got a couple of lip liners that go with both of these shades. I gave myself a little tiny hint of Smooches lip liner, which is the deeper nude shade, just to give me a bit of a guide, because obviously with a really bright pigmented lip it's hard to be neat, or I find it hard to be neat. So I gave myself a bit of a liner with using Smooches this morning, and then Puffin obviously all over the lips. This is the nude shade Beauty, and I did post some pictures on my Instagram wearing this one with the liner Smooches as well, because that is the deeper nude shade, and again just the perfect nude. Both of these liners work perfectly with both of these lipsticks. So here are all 4 products. This is Puffin that I'm wearing on my lips right now. Kitten liner next to that one. Beauty lipstick, that stunning nude, and you can see there with the 2 liners either side that it will work beautifully with either, depending on your preference, your skin tone and the look that you're going for. And then on the end we have the Smooches liner. So that's Smooches, Beauty, Kitten and Puffin. They all just absolutely, I mean, it's pretty much everything you need. You've got a nude, you can keep it light on its own, you can deepen it up using the liner, and then you've got a lovely bright, more of like an evening or a more full glam look. And again, you can use this gorgeous Puffin with this liner beautifully to tone it down if you want, or just on its own to keep it super bright. I love all 4 of these products. The lips are so comfortable and creamy and pigmented. I mean, you can see this is a couple of swipes on the lips. I love the components. They're absolutely beautiful with that magnetic close that I love. I love the white with the gold writing, super chic. Everything is just amazing, and it's a mega deal. 2 lipsticks and 2 lip liners. I think it's a great price point as well for such gorgeous items. I have been wearing these non-stop and I was so excited and happy for Mel, because it's really rare to come across such a beautiful soul as Mel, someone who is so loving, kind, caring, thoughtful, generous, all of the above, just an amazingly good soul and heart, and the kindest person you could hope to meet. So anything good happening to that woman is like, I'm on board, I'm here for it, and I will support her to the end of the earth. She is absolutely my go-to as far as reviews. She's never failed me, she's never let me down. Sometimes we kind of have different preferences, but I still know she's always going to give me the truth. She's always going to give me the facts about any product. She's so trustworthy. She's very, very honest and open on her channel. I cannot recommend her highly enough, and therefore, you know, anything that she's put her name to is just going to be amazing, because she just wouldn't be interested in doing it otherwise. So I will link all of these amazing products as well as Mel's channel, because she has a whole video on all of these lips and everything about the names and all of that stuff that you might want to know about on her channel, and she is just very much worth checking out. So just a huge congratulations again to Mel. I'm so happy for her and so proud. So next up, a foundation, and this is the Shiseido Synchro Skin Self Refreshing Foundation with SPF 30. If you don't like SPF, that is the only reason that I would not recommend this foundation to you. I am obsessed with it. It's the foundation I'm wearing today. I'm finding it very hard to use any other of my foundations. At the moment, I'm still trying to sort of go through all my foundations and work out which is my ultimate favourite, which is my second, which is my third, and all that kind of stuff, because I know you guys are always wanting to know where things sit. So I'm kind of, you know, using this one, going back to others, kind of, you know, moving things around. But honestly, I rarely want to put anything else on my face. It is just everything I want in a foundation. It's got the perfect coverage. It's got the most beautiful finish I've ever seen on a foundation. So luminous and glowy, but like the right side, you know, it's not shiny, it's not wet, it's not oily looking, and it doesn't get like more and more so throughout the day, which is a big issue for me because I have pretty normal skin, but I guess it leans towards the oilier side rather than the dry side, and I do have a slightly oily T-zone center of my face sometimes. So sometimes if I use a super dewy foundation and it just gets a hair dewier throughout the day, it goes very quickly south, too far, too shiny. This one just stays perfect, stays where it is. I don't feel like I need to set it at all. It's beautiful on the skin. It wears really, really nicely, photographs beautifully, is the most smoothing foundation I can remember using. It doesn't sink into lines. I can't tell you enough good things about this foundation. It is an absolute dream, and I'm pretty confident that it's going to become my holy grail foundation. I'm not fully ready to commit to saying that yet, but I certainly feel like that is the way that it's heading. Next up, something that's not new, but that I have recently gone back to and rediscovered as being like perfection. This is the Marc Jacobs Tantastic Omega Bronzer. It's these giant, this is the coconut one, which I think they started off saying that it was limited edition, but it seems now that it's been made permanent. Again, the bronzer I've got on today. I can't really use this in summer. You can see I'm kind of not as tan as I was, but I'm still not, like, I haven't lost all my colour from summer. So I'm now starting to be able to use this again as a bronzer. In the summer, it doesn't really bronze me. And actually, because as you can see, it's kind of on the cooler side for a bronzer. In summer, I go much warmer than I am in winter. So I need to use more of a warm bronzer. Otherwise, it looks very off and chalky and muddy on me if it's too cool. So I need to use warmer bronzers in summer is something that I found. But in winter, and as I start to go back into more of my winter skin, this is just the perfect shade for me. You get a huge amount in here. It's got the most beautiful finish, just very soft and natural on the skin. And I'm sure it's called a matte bronzer, but I actually find it more of a natural finish. Like it looks quite luminous on me, but there's no shimmer, no glitter, nothing like that in there at all. It's very hard for me to swatch this because it is quite close, as you can see, to my skin tone, and so I do have to use quite a lot of it, and I use this in conjunction with my Charlotte Tilbury Contour wand today because it still is a hair too light, but I'm just really building up and using quite a lot of it, and it just never looks powdery. It wears really well. I've kind of forgotten about this in the summer because it's too light, but now I'm back in love. I'm back in the game. I'm obsessed with this. I think it's absolutely beautiful and actually really good value for money from Marc Jacobs product for 0.8 ounces, 25 grams. Really great value for money. Next up, I have a couple of eyeshadow palettes. First up is the Carly Bible Anastasia Beverly Hills collaboration. See, I've not had this long, but it is already absolutely battered. This is like my ultimate palette, because it's rare for me to find a palette where I'm going to regularly use every shade in there, and this is that palette. I can use every shade in here. There are none that intimidate me. There are none that I feel like aren't my shades. There are none that don't work with the rest of the palette. It is so well thought out and put together. I mentioned in my 10 looks 1 palette that I did with this that I wish these 2 shades, Jode and OA, weren't so similar, because I feel like it's just a wasted space in the palette. I feel like one of these could have done that thing that those shades both do, and we could have had another option in there, so that's slightly frustrating. And like lots of people, I'm not a huge fan of the packaging. I do feel like I understand what people say. One, I know some people are freaked out by this pattern. Is it called trypophobia? Apparently lots of people were affected, like can't look at it. I don't have that issue, but it does look cheap to me, which is a shame, because it's really not a cheap palette, and it is a beautiful palette, but I do feel like it doesn't do it justice in my opinion. But yeah, the inside, you can't go wrong. The formula is just everything. The formula, as always, is beautiful. I just love it. It's absolutely gorgeous for every occasion, very everyday. Easily do a date night, easily do a big night out look with this. It's just got options coming out of its ears. I love it. And a very different palette. This is the Natasha Denona Mini Gold palette. I did a whole review on this, a video that went up last week. So if you haven't seen that, go and check it out if you want to see this on my eyes and how I use it. This is one of my favorite purchases of all time. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I feel like it's allowing me to do things, looks on my eyes that I wouldn't really do. I wouldn't have really thought of using these colours and these like olivey tones before, but it is just absolutely gorgeous, and it's so much more wearable than I ever really thought it would be. Obviously it kind of does, like I said in my review, one thing. There's not a huge amount of options that you're going to get out of this. There are only 5 shades, but it's perfectly balanced. Like, you know, it has the perfect number of mattes, the perfect number of shimmers. They all work beautifully together, and I'm just in love with it. I'm obsessed with it. I could wear this every single day of the week. It's enough, but it's not too much. You can smoke it out, you can tone it down. As you can tell, I like it. I know a few people have said that her minis are like a hit and miss formula, but that is definitely like what I think of as Natasha's formula. It is right up there. I love it. I think it's, yeah, I like it, okay? Shh. And last but not least, for the favourites, this is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Star Highlighter. I was physically forced to pick this up by my friends Tara Lynn and Mel Thompson, because they both kept telling me this will look so glorious on you. This is right up your street. This is going to be perfect on your skin tone. And I mean, you guys know how I feel about Charlotte Tilbury, and I was really scared. I had actually put this on my Christmas wish list, like for my family, the list I give to my family of ideas for gifts for me, but it is limited edition, and I was terrified it was going to sell out before someone got it, or even that they might just not pick it or get me something different, and then it was going to sell out. And so I got the fear and the FOMO, and so I picked it up, and I am not sorry. I have no regrets. It's the highlight I've got on right now, and exactly as my friends told me, they know me so well, that this is like probably my favourite highlighter of all time. I like highlight. I don't want it to look like, you know, you can see me from space. I'm metallic. I look like a robot. I don't want that level of highlight, but I do really want a bright glow. I do want a sort of in between that. I don't want loads of glitter and shimmer. I want shine and wet looking and light. That's what I prefer in a highlight. And I want something that goes with my skin tone, that's not going to leave a light cast, and that's not going to leave like colour. I want it to be like the shade of my skin, and that's kind of hard to find all of that, you know, but that is what this is. You can see how close that is to my skin tone, and that's obviously quite a heavy swatch there, but it just blends gorgeously, and it is just wet, shiny, glossy, glass-like skin. It's so soft. I am in heaven. It is perfect for me. As you can see, it's glowy, it's beaming, but not in a sort of metallic way, not leaving a stripe on my face, blending gloriously into my skin tone. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I know people are going to want to know about skin tones this will work for. I think this would work for me in the summer, so it would work I think up to like an NC40, NC42, and right now I'm like an NC30 to 35, and obviously it works perfectly on me now. I think it will work on me in the winter when I'm like an NC27 at my fairest. Any lighter than that, moving to the real fair skin, I think it will leave colour on your face, it will leave a cast on your face. Not everybody cares about that, not everybody minds that. You can still use it, but that is my opinion, that it will leave a visible like streak on your face. So that's up to you if you want to give it a go. If you have very fair skin, that is what I think will happen if you use this highlighter, because it is on the darker side, it is on the more gold side versus like a champagne that may work better for fairer skin. So now for the fail of the month. Now this month I picked up these samples. This isn't sponsored, by the way. I paid for these and ordered these myself from the Fragrance Samples website, which I will link down below, because they were brilliant. I thought they were really, really good. Their products arrived really super quickly, were nicely packaged, and everything was very easy, very simple, and they have a huge range of perfumes on their website. Now what I was looking for is I wanted to order all of the perfumes that I'm kind of thinking I would like and want to put on my Christmas list or want to order at some point, but I haven't ever been able to smell them. And if you know me, you've watched my fragrance videos before, you'll know I'm into unique fragrances. That's the word I'm going to use. Unique, weird, pretty unisex or more even masculine fragrances. So they're fragrances that really can be like either incredible change your life fragrances, or depending on how they work with my chemistry and just how they end up being versus the description, they can be total fails. Like I don't ever buy safe fragrances. So I decided to order a lot of them because they are all expensive fragrances and I didn't want to blind buy any of them without smelling them first. So I picked up 5 fragrances. I got a couple of the replica fragrances I got by the fireplace. I got Jazz Club. I got Killian fragrance, Straight to Heaven. I got Chegui by Serge Lutens, and ooh, they're all collapsing. And then I picked up the Baccarat Rouge 540. Now, if you've ever watched a fragrance video in your life, or you've watched, I don't know, YouTuber hauls and things like that, this is like a very viral fragrance at the moment. Everybody is talking about it. Everybody is obsessed with it. Everybody is saying it's the most incredible perfume of life. I love the Fragrantica website. I go on there all the time. It's a perfume sort of specialist review type website. You can get a huge amount of information about perfumes on there, and I've been reading about this one. I've been having my eye on this one for a little while. Obviously there's been a huge amount of hype about this perfume, which made me interested. It sounded different, it sounded unusual, it sounded like something I might like. Everybody says it's their favorite of all time. So I was pretty keen to pick this up and try it. Now when I first sprayed this, I was like, the initial scent is beautiful, very nice, very sort of sweet, almost on the gourmand side, which I like, but a little bit different, which I like. I let my husband smell me. He loved it. We were like, yeah, okay, I get it. But for me, everything about a perfume is in the dry down. It really doesn't matter what it smells like for the first 10 minutes. What matters to me is what it smells like for the rest of the day. How long you can smell it, whether anyone else can smell you from, you know, talking to you, all that kind of stuff. That's what's important. And that's where this perfume on me is a complete fail. After about an hour or so, it's a complete skin scent, which means you can only smell it if you do this. That's the only way I can smell this at all after about an hour. It is completely gone, other than being a skin scent. My husband couldn't smell me. We were in the car. He couldn't even smell it sitting next to me in the car. So for me, a £200 perfume for, you know, an average size bottle, that is a complete fail. I know that won't be everyone's experience. That's how it performs on me, on my skin type, with my chemistry, but that was extremely disappointing. A lot of people also say that it smells like hospital to them. It's very sterile smelling in the dry down, and I can understand where that's coming from. It is a very synthetic scent in the dry down. So yeah, if you're not into that, if you want something that really smells like fresh ingredients or like real ingredients, like real notes, it is very synthetic. And I do understand the hospital note. It doesn't smell like any hospital I've been in, but I do understand that comment that people commonly make about this perfume. When it dries down, it does just have a very synthetic note in there. And like I said, I could only smell it by sniffing my wrist where I sprayed it, or sniffing, my husband sniffing my neck like quite heavily was the only way anyone could smell it after a couple of hours, which was very disappointing. So there you have it. Those became very Oliver Twist there by accident. Those are my faves and one fail for the month of October. We are really honing in on the end of the year, aren't we? We've only got one more favourites to go, and then it'll be the favourites of 2019. Let that sink in. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I would love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye 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 bye.